I spent more than an hour there, and nothing came out. I strained until I started sweating like a pig, but I knew that this visit to the bathroom would be another unsuccessful one. I felt a stabbing pain in my stomach and a huge amount of pressure mounting up inside my intestines. Just when I thought that my piping was going to finally unclog, I was disappointed to find out that it was just gas. Nothing seemed to change in my bathroom routine. I started to get desperate and anxious. I could hear everybody outside talking to each other about the foul, putrid stench of the public bathroom stall I was in. But it felt impossible for me to get up. The pain was too sharp, and yet there was no poop coming out. You can't even begin to imagine the walk of shame I had to endure when I got out of there. Their eyes were fixated on me, and the murmurs on their lips only meant one thing for me. They were going to go home and tell everyone about how they had to wait for who knows how long, just because some guy couldn't even poop. I've had my fair share of embarrassing situations before. Gas leaks in public, noisy stomach, or even leaving important events because I felt the urge to go to the bathroom. But that topped all of them. I felt humiliated, and I just wanted the earth to swallow me whole. Never in a million years would I have imagined that my condition would be the first and most important step of a journey, at the end of which I would discover a 100% natural and dirt cheap method that would come to the aid of thousands of people that went through the same struggle as myself, and help them recover from gut disease and reduce their stool time, while also giving them flawless digestion. Just by performing a simple daily unclogging method, which takes less than 20 seconds per day. Look, the following story isn't suited for the weak of heart. However, if you've been struggling with conditions such as IBS, GERD, anal fissures, or hemorrhoids, or if you want to get rid of the excess belly fat, reduce your cravings, and lower your blood sugar, or if you are awestruck by the fact that no matter how healthy you eat, or how hydrated you stay during the days, you still experience gas, bloating sensations, or constipation and diarrhea, then please bear with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you why your digestive problems aren't something you can control with a so-called healthy diet. Your entire life, you've been told to be careful with what you eat, but for all the wrong reasons. You've been told that the wrong foods can affect your digestive system in ways that you wouldn't even want to find out about. But only part of that is true. The media and top pharmaceutical companies want to keep you out of the loop when it comes to the real reasons behind your gut issues. The researchers at the National Center for Biotechnology Information have repeatedly shown that if you have digestive problems, your body has most likely been affected by this multicellular organism that's hijacking your colon as we speak. Further studies conducted by the same institute, as well as the University of Hawaii and the Better Health Channel, concluded that the same multicellular organism has a very dangerous effect on the human body, causing your gut to malfunction, and can lead to symptoms such as diarrhea, constipation, abdominal and gut pain and pressure, and can even cause gut rupture, a condition that can even prove fatal. But once you discover everything there is to know about this dangerous organism that ruins your gut's flora, you'll have all the weapons you need in order to rejuvenate not only your digestive system, but your entire body's health too, by losing excess fat and reducing your blood sugar levels in the process. Regardless of your age, weight, gender, or medical condition, no matter how many things you've tried before which have ultimately failed, or how broken you think your metabolism is, if your main problem is diarrhea, or on the contrary, chronic constipation, whether you suffer from GERD, IBS, or you are simply feeling bloated and in pain all the time, this 100% natural solution is going to be the key to solving all your gut-related problems, and even more. In just a few seconds per day, you are going to feel rejuvenated without giving up any of your favorite foods or having to worry about your fiber intake, and without even having to see the inside of a gym again. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you a critical piece of information that is going to be key to your journey to a healthier gut, starting with how and why fiber is actually not all that beneficial, but on the contrary, can destroy your possibilities of having a healthy digestive system. How vegetables are not as healthy as you think, but contain a simple yet extremely harmful chemical that can mess up your whole digestive system. A straightforward yet very effective way of finding out whether or not you need immediate medical attention by simply testing your belly, and how a seemingly simple yet extremely powerful natural mix gave me the key to finally fix all my gut issues. Before I continue, I need you to know that it is vital for you to stay with me until the end of this video. And when I say vital, I mean that literally, because what I am about to say to you may very well save your life. Just imagine never spending more than 10 minutes on the toilet again, never having to worry about what and how much you eat, or how your diet will affect your stool the next day, never dealing with acid reflux, gastric inflammations, stomach pain and pressure, and never even thinking about hemorrhoids or anal fissures, not needing to hold gas in anymore, and never being put in embarrassing situations by a growling stomach or by unwanted sounds and smells coming from your bathroom stall. Instead of all this hell, you can wake up feeling rejuvenated, and when you go to the toilet, you'll be able to unclog your pipes and feel light as a feather and energetic as a child. Just think of how the numbers on your bathroom scale will keep going down with each day, making you feel more and more comfortable with your body, giving your health the boost it needs, and making your digestion run smoothly. All of these while being able to eat everything you want, with no shame or guilt, or thinking about how dreadful your next visit to the bathroom will be. You'll be able to amaze everyone with your new body and energy, and you'll finally be able to relax and enjoy life like you were always meant to. There are already over 221,000 people that have experienced these results firsthand. Donald, 58, from Boise, Idaho, wrote to us saying, "I can't even begin to explain how easy it is for me to poop now. I used to spend more than 45 minutes on the toilet, but now, every morning I wake up knowing that I won't be there for more than 10. From there on, I feel unstoppable. I feel lighter, healthier, rejuvenated, and I can now enjoy the things I couldn't before. Everything because of this amazing formula. Thank you." Or James Closter, 49, from Flint, Michigan, who said, "Look, diarrhea and constipation were things I dealt with on a daily basis. Before this mind-blowing formula, I couldn't even remember the last time I went to the bathroom and didn't experience pain. And on top of that, I even got anal fissures. But ever since I started doing this morning ritual, I feel different, not to mention lighter. I lost more than 40 pounds. My wife is even more happy about it. With my energy coming back to me, we can now be intimate again. So not only did you help my guts, you saved my marriage too. Thanks, Bob." Miriam Ramsey, 60, from New Jersey, told us, "I was at a very low point in my life. I always felt bloated, and pressure was starting to build inside my stomach from the moment I woke up. I've been in more embarrassing situations than I would like to admit, and I felt helpless. Not anymore. This thing literally fixed my problems. No more pain, no more bloating, and most of all, no more gas leaks. I was so skeptical at first, but it proved to be for nothing. Everything feels brand new now. I feel young again, and I can enjoy holidays with my family just like I should. All that thanks to you." I know this may seem way too good to be true, and I can understand that. After all, that's exactly what I felt when I came upon this groundbreaking discovery that I'm about to show you. Hi, my name is Bob Winston. I am 53, and I live with my beautiful wife Dolly in Jacksonville, Florida. For the past 20 years, we have been the proud owners of a small yet very popular meat store. If someone had told me a couple years ago that this tiny store would be the exact cause behind the most revolutionary discovery in digestion, I would have laughed and thought that they were clearly mocking me. That was mostly because at that time, I was at the lowest point of my life. Back then, I couldn't even begin to imagine how my life looked without gut issues. First came the random sharp pains in my stomach. Then, the whole gang came along, constant bloating, gas, reflux, culminating with diarrhea or constipation, all depending on which day it was. Every time I tried solving one problem, another one took its place. It was a living hell. I had a rough time pooping. While a normal visit lasted no more than 7 minutes, my bathroom breaks were way longer than half an hour, and sometimes could even reach 2 hours, depending on how clogged my pipes were. My constipation was so severe sometimes that I could go for 10 days, sometimes even 2 weeks before I could poop. And when the time finally came, it didn't come alone. Horrible stomach pains took over, not to mention anal fissures. It felt like somebody was constantly stabbing both my behind and my stomach with the sharpest knives. But the list of dreadful things I had to go through didn't end there. To top it all off, I started experiencing hemorrhoidal crises too. I was a wreck. I felt like every time I ate a steak or any type of food whatsoever, I would add 10 more minutes to my stool time. And that hurt a lot, not only physically, but the fact that I myself couldn't enjoy any of the meats that I was constantly selling my customers took its toll on me. I was envious of them. I knew my customers, since they're mostly friends or neighbors of mine, and none of them experienced the things that I was going through. Was there something wrong with my body? I tried everything, from high-fiber diets to eating only the healthiest foods, exercising daily and drinking more than 4 liters of water a day. None of that worked. It was the same thing over and over again, constant straining on the toilet. My eyes felt like they would pop out of their sockets every time I tried to poop. And no nutritionists or doctors managed to help me, no matter how much money I spent on their drugs. And there's a good explanation behind that. So bear with me for the next 5 minutes, because these are going to save you a lot of time, money, and pain. Right off the bat, everybody is going to question your lifestyle. They will always assume that you don't hydrate enough, you don't exercise, and your diet lacks fiber, even if that's not the case. First things first, high-fiber diets aren't guaranteed to work on everyone. We each have different bodies. They all work in different ways. Plus, eating too much fiber can actually prove to be harmful to your body, since they can swell up in your gut and eventually cause pain and pressure. Let's take something like eggplant or cabbage, for example. Even though these are generally regarded as very healthy vegetables, and while they have plenty of nutrients, these are foods that you're better off without if you're dealing with a bad digestion. The reason behind this? They contain fructan, which is a substance that should be avoided if you're dealing with things like IBS or GERD. Humans have limited ability to digest fructans in the small intestine. That means they're still intact when they reach the large intestine, where gut bacteria breaks them down. Fructans create excessive gas, bloating, and diarrhea, and these are certainly things that you don't want to deal with. Now, I'm not saying that a high-fiber diet will never work for you, but just think about it. Eating those bland, tasteless foods for the rest of your life just to be able to poop properly? That's a trade I wouldn't want to take. I want to enjoy the food I'm eating without sacrificing anything for that. Another popular solution on the market are probiotics, and even though they're seen as a miracle, they're not always as effective as you may think. The thing about probiotics is that no matter how good they are for the body, and they're actually very beneficial, they need to be alive in order to work. When it comes to the ones in your supplements or medication, most of them are dead. That's because the packaging process kills the good bacteria in those pills. To put it simply, all you're doing is inserting dead bacteria in your gut. Something worth mentioning about these pills is that in order for them to appeal to the public, the pharmaceutical companies fill them with different types of probiotic strains, which are not always compatible for your body. Meaning they are only going to put your gut into overdrive and mess up your entire digestive system even more. If you're struggling with constipation or diarrhea as the main issues of your digestive system, you've surely tried things like laxatives or antidiarrheals. And if you didn't, let me save you some time and money. Don't even bother. After just 2 weeks since I first started taking them, I became more gassy and bloated, and after a while, they stopped working altogether. I'm sure your doctor recommended that you exercise more. But when cramps, bloating, and painful pressure in your stomach are things that you deal with on a daily basis, do you really think that you're up for the effort? To put it simply, No matter what things you may want to try, though they may have short-term effects, they are completely useless in the long run. And I know this because I tried every possible option before I stumbled upon what can now be called the most impressive gut health discovery of modern times. But before this, I became scared, hurt, and most of all embarrassed. There was no social situation in which my digestive problems didn't put me in a bad spot. Every time I tried going out with friends, most of the conversations were interrupted by my loud, growling stomach, or by the smelly gas that I just couldn't hold inside anymore. Every time I needed to go to the bathroom, especially in a public place, I felt like my gassy stomach would put me in a bad spot again. And so it did. No matter how much I tried, time and time again, the stall I was in reeked of the foul stench of my gas. And while I tried, blood, sweat, and tears to get the poop to come out, it just wouldn't happen. This condition wasn't just affecting my personal life, it affected my business too. I remember that one day, I got out of the bathroom of the meat shop I owned, and I overheard the clients saying that the meat smelled so bad and that they would go and buy from elsewhere. I felt so embarrassed, and I couldn't just tell them that the horrible smell was actually coming from, well, me. The pain and pressure in my stomach was building up during the day, and at night, I was constantly squirming and flatulating, filling the room with both outrageous smells and disturbing noises. At that point, I felt like I would rather die than endure one more moment of this. But I hadn't seen the least of it. I wasn't even ready for what I considered to be the worst experience of my entire life. At one point, I had been unable to poop for what felt like years, but were in fact just 7 days. I wasn't surprised at all. Usually, after this much time, I'd have been able to force something out, even if it took strenuous efforts. However, this time it was different. On the 8th and 9th days, I started to panic a little. I went to the doctor, and I practically begged him to help me. Now, here comes the first shocking part. He told me that what could work for me were enemas. I was stupefied. How could he recommend I undergo such a thing when hemorrhoids and anal fissures were things I was fighting on a daily basis? Having no other solution, I accepted his advice. I felt as pathetic as I looked. I was lying on the bed on one side with my knees almost touching my chin, desperately trying to do an enema on myself while screaming and squirming in pain because of my hemorrhoids and fissures. But it was all going to be worth it, right? Now I should be able to unclog my intestines without much effort, right? Wrong. I went to the bathroom, hoping that poop would eventually come out after 3 days of giving myself enemas, but to no avail. I felt bloated, like my stomach was ready to explode, but nothing, absolutely nothing would come out, and it had been 15 days since I last had a proper bathroom break. So I resorted to laxatives after a long time of not using them. I took one, just to see if it has any effect, then another, and so on, until I ended up taking 10 laxatives over the course of 2 days, again with no effect. Or so I thought. There had been almost 3 weeks since my last proper poop. The laxatives I took over the span of 3 days had no effect whatsoever, and I had the biggest meeting of my life yet. A fancy, exquisite restaurant had just opened in my neighborhood, and they chose me as their meat supplier. Naturally, I had to hold a toast and a speech in front of the distinguished audience and shake hands with the owner. You know, the formalities. I wasn't in the mood for it, though, and it was clear why. I was bloated, in pain, and frankly, I could barely move. But I still went because it was a very important contract, and the owner was a close friend of mine. Now, before I continue, I need to tell you, nothing can prepare you for what's to come. So don't say I didn't warn you. There I was, in the restaurant, in front of the most prominent politicians and businessmen in our town. My friend introduced me, and I stood up from the table, barely walking towards the microphone. The moment I raised my glass in order to hold the toast, I felt the sharpest pain in my stomach. I felt lightheaded and dizzy, but I couldn't focus too much on my other body parts because the stomach pain became so unbearable that I collapsed on the floor at that very moment. I crouched and everyone gathered around, worried, trying to see if I'm okay. The ambulance soon arrived after they called 911. They had barely put me on the stretcher, and as they carried me towards the exit, it happened. Everything happened in a flash, but since everyone's eyes were pointed at me, I felt like that moment lasted centuries. At first, I felt gassy and bloated. I wanted to hold the gas in, but I was too drained to do anything about it. But what seemed to me like gas was much, much worse. Seconds before I fainted, an explosive diarrhea came out, and there was nothing I could do about it. I was in no shape to hold it in anymore. And while I felt relieved that my 3-week constipation spell was over, I would have rather died than live that moment. Everyone was looking directly at me. Right there in the middle of that restaurant, they were either laughing, expressing their disgust, or simply muttering to one another. I knew I was their laughingstock. Before I passed out, I managed to get a look at my friend's face, and I could tell that he was fuming. He looked mad, disgusted, and incredibly disappointed. All of that because of me. When I got to the ER room, I was surrounded by my worried family, but I couldn't look them in the eye. I was stripped of any shred of dignity I had left. I never wanted to see my friend or the people that were in that restaurant again. On top of that, the doctor told me that my diarrhea was so severe that if I hadn't been rushed to the hospital, I would have died due to extreme dehydration. I just wanted to sleep and never wake up. I wasn't afraid of nightmares anymore. I was living one. But during the few days I spent in the hospital, I felt something change. My body was rejuvenated, and the cramps, stabbing pain, and stomach aches were gone. At home, when I stepped on the scale, I noticed that I had dropped a few pounds, and even the bloating and the dreadful anal fissures were gone. I felt truly saved. For the first time in who knew how long, I was relieved of any pain, bloating, pressure, or any straining on the toilet whatsoever. It almost seemed like a miracle. But good things don't last. After a mere week, my symptoms started coming back, stronger than ever. The same old constipation, abdominal pressure, hemorrhoidal crises, everything. The only thing that came to my mind was this. Was my entire life going to be like that? Was I always going to be haunted and tortured by these hellish gut demons? Was my life going to forever be in danger, while I couldn't even enjoy going out or eating the foods I liked? I needed to do something. Nothing worked for me, so I needed a solution that didn't imply costly surgeries or useless pills. I had to take matters into my own hands, forgetting about what everyone else said. One morning, after a sleepless night of pain, I decided to surf the web for any information that could be useful in dealing with my condition. I needed a lead, anything that could be used in order to solve this. I skimmed through every article, research paper, magazine, forum, everything. Something kept bugging me. What is so powerful that can affect me in this way, and many others too, while the rest of the people are completely fine? What did they have that I didn't? Or what did I have that they didn't? It didn't make sense. As it turned out, it wasn't necessarily something that they had, but rather something that their body's organs were more resistant to. And I'll tell you everything about that in the next couple of minutes. But before we get into this, I need you to listen to this. 97% of Americans consume meat at least once a day. Nothing wrong with that, right? Some strips of bacon in the morning, a juicy steak in the afternoon, or even a delicious burger from your favorite fast food joint after you're done with work. Sounds appetizing, doesn't it? What if I told you that the very thing that we prize the most is exactly what damages our guts? And just to make this clear, it's not the meat in itself that is harmful for our digestion, but a tiny yet very dangerous bacteria that lives in it, Clostridium perfringens. Here's where things get worse. According to studies conducted by the Boston Public Health Commission, this specific bacteria, which is a part of the Clostridia family, appears in more things than just meat. It can even be found in beans, gravy, or in some cases, even in vegetables grown in corrupted soil. So don't think for a second that eliminating the meat out of your diet is going to fix your problem. And in fact, our bodies need meat like they need water, because it's our body's primary source of protein. Eliminating it from your diet can lead to protein deficiency, which in turn can cause severe health problems such as anemia, fatigue, hair and skin problems, and overall general fatigue. To put it simply, you need that protein in order to survive. Another study made by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the most common places where this bacteria can be spread are hospitals, school cafeterias, or nursing homes. It's appalling, really, that this can affect our children, our sick, and our elderly more than they affect others. Plus, the highest number of outbreaks have been reported during the holiday season, especially during Thanksgiving and Christmas, due to widespread consumption of turkey and roast beef. The Clostridium perfringens, I'll just call it CP for short, is considered to be one of the most common pathogens in existence, and they can multiply incredibly quickly in the proper conditions. And what do you know? Your gut is exactly the optimal environment for this to happen. Now, in most cases, the symptoms are the usual ones: constipation or diarrhea, bloating, mounting pressure in your stomach, acid reflux, and abdominal pain. However, as lead scientists from Kenyon College mentioned in one of their research papers, this is a possibility that your body can be more affected by this than the usual person, and the more than 16 toxins found in CP can cause necrosis, ulceration, and perforation of the intestine, which can prove to be fatal. Additionally, this widespread virus severely affects more than 1 million Americans a year. But these are only the persistent cases. For lucky people with a stronger immune system, CP can cause a mere indigestion and a short-term case of diarrhea. But if you're like me, and you weren't blessed with the strongest of immune systems, you are constantly at risk. If you're wondering how the Clostridium perfringens works, here's a very short explanation of the process. First, this bacteria is ingested by humans through the meats or contaminated foods. From there on, it has a clear path towards your gut, sliding on the mucus lining of your intestines. Now, depending on how strong your gut flora is, there's 2 possibilities. One, you only get the mild syndromes and get rid of this bacteria in a mere couple of days. Or you can draw the short end of the stick, like I did, and go through the same dreadful experience. What you need to remember is that this isn't something you can have control over. No matter how healthy you try to eat, or how much water you drink, or even if you manage to sneak in some daily exercise, if CP enters your body and the gut isn't healthy enough to deal with it, you're in for a trip to hell. Even if you manage to source your food from the top producers or buy all organic food, you are not guaranteed to be healthy either. There are plenty of additives in our everyday foods, from sugar replacements to even dangerous substances found in the very packaging of our meats that can damage your gut flora. To name some of them, we have polysorbates, CMC, sucralose, aspartame, or bisphenols. All of these are dangerous chemicals that completely mess up your digestion and intestines, and in large quantities, can even put your life at risk. As you can probably tell, I was shocked. As a meat store owner myself, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was unconsciously selling to people the very foods that messed up their intestines. No matter how much I tried to buy the meat only from the highest quality local providers, I couldn't possibly be able to tell if this bacteria affected it or not, since it dwells in most mammals, sometimes without even being able to be discovered. It was completely shocking, really. And even though now I knew the real reasons behind my messed up digestion, I couldn't help but wonder, was there really nothing to be done about it? Are we truly surrounded by foods that are so essential, yet so very dangerous to our bodies which need those foods? So stay here for just a few more minutes, because I will soon be showing you a revolutionary way in which to fight all these dangers and regain your gut health. A few weeks after I got out of the hospital, I met a dead end. I knew the real reason behind my condition now, but I had no clue what to do. And while I could have thought about it for some time, my schedule was too full for that. In a matter of days, I was supposed to go to a training seminar in New Zealand. The training was about food safety methods, a matter I was invested in even more, now that I knew just how dangerous these things can be. And since I had already paid for it in advance, I figured that it would be a shame to miss it. The flight lasted for 16 excruciating hours, which definitely took a toll on my messed up guts. I landed in Christchurch, and there I was, surrounded by chefs, shop owners, and producers from all over the world. I was in no mood to communicate with anybody, so I just sat there, in the dining hall, looking at others, wondering if any of them were just like me. And there was someone who caught my eye. This world-renowned chef, I am going to call him Chef Wes, always drank a weird-looking mix right before his meal. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but he always seemed to be more energetic than the rest of us after that, and he never even complained about digestive problems. What triggered my senses was the fact that one of his colleagues asked him if those things are some sort of vitamins, to which he replied, "No, my friend, this is just a little habit I've gotten into to improve my digestion." You can imagine how intrigued I was after hearing such a statement. After he finished eating, and since it was my last day there, I ran after him and told him all about my problems, asking if he could tell me more about his drink. I was lucky. Chef Wes was very friendly and eager to help someone that was in the same position he used to be. When he told me what those were, I was astounded. Wes had a problem that was very similar to mine in the past. Lucky for him, his brother, I'll call him Luke, had a PhD in biochemistry and nutrition, and he was able to help him find a way to improve his digestion. He was the one that made the mix for Wes and advised him to take 1 scoop before or after each meal to make sure he wouldn't have any of those problems again. Though he wasn't totally healed, he was feeling way better and was able to live a normal life. While we were talking about it, I chimed in with my discovery, and I started telling him about the bacteria that is actually responsible for all the hell we were going through. He told me that he would keep in touch and that he would relay this information to his brother, who would have been more than happy to help us in our journey. The next day, I took the long flight home, and on the same night, I had a video call with Luke. And so we continued through video calls and messages. Luke would keep testing formulas on the isolated strains of CP he found, trying to see if there were any compositions that would work, while Wes and I would try to use our network to see if there was anybody that could get us the purest, highest quality ingredients for his brother to use. We tested over 200 formulas in different quantities and combinations until we finally struck gold. A 100% natural, potent, and effective mixture in the form of a powerful pill that would detoxify the gut and rejuvenate the whole organism in order to properly digest and get rid of the Clostridium perfringens. I know you are very eager and curious about what this solution is made of and why this is the only thing that works so well. So let's start with what the three of us call the ABCs. First, we have alpha-lipoic acid, also known as ALA. This is a substance that your body uses to better digest carbohydrates and generate energy for your organism as a whole. It also works as an antioxidant, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. ALA is crucial for your digestion, and it helps all the enzymes and the good bacteria break down the nutrients in foods. Not only will this substance help your gut process everything faster and more efficiently, but studies show that it can also help your brain function better. This bad boy is known to be even better than the most used vitamins, C and E, since it works way faster and more efficiently, and can ultimately help you in a weight loss journey. A study conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information shows that test subjects that were supplemented with ALA experienced reduced body weight and fat mass, so this can do you a world of good without you even thinking of going on a diet. Next, we have berberine. This plant-based compound has the outstanding ability of changing and improving the good bacteria in your gut, making them stronger and more potent in the face of the CP. Berberine supports a balanced flora and reduces symptoms such as gas or bloating. With those gone, you can say goodbye to a good amount of pain or pressure that has been mounting up in your intestines, and finally be able to button your clothes with ease. On top of that, berberine has anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antiviral properties, and can even help with type 2 diabetes. Now to the final ingredient of our ABC team, chromium. But not just any type of chromium. We used chromium picolinate, an alternate form that's absorbed way better than your run-of-the-mill chromium, for a faster and a better effect. This final element of the ABC group targets unwanted toxins and microbes that are found in your gut and fights them, helping your body eliminate them more easily and detoxifying itself. Chromium deficiency is something that is found in a lot of people and can manifest itself through not only digestive problems, but fatigue, anxiety, and irregular levels of cholesterol. Luckily, our compound is so efficient and effective that those will no longer be an issue, and your entire body will naturally feel rejuvenated. The combination of these three elements alone is sure to heal your guts, destroying the CP bacteria and giving your body the nutrient boost it certainly needs. But we didn't stop there. At the end of every ABC, there's always a Z. Our Z is quite self-explanatory. We've added a perfect dose of zinc gluconate, since too much or too little of it can have the opposite effects. However, we managed to find the exact quantity of zinc that will help your body digest the nutrients faster and more effectively. Research shows that a zinc deficiency can lead to your intestinal barrier falling apart or sustaining unhealthy amounts of damage. With this pill, you will not only make up for the lack of zinc, enhancing your gut's membrane and lining, but it will also help you fall asleep easier and feel more energized during the day. We wanted to create a compound that would not only take care of the digestive problems, but heal your organism as a whole. And that is why, on top of the ingredients mentioned before, we wanted to add milk thistle to help with indigestion and to cleanse your liver because of its anti-inflammatory properties. Banaba, a plant native to Southeast Asia that is known to help with weight loss, cholesterol, obesity, and even type 2 diabetes. And a safe amount of capsicum annum, a compound found in the cayenne pepper that is sure to help with your circulation, can regulate blood pressure, prevent heart disease, and offer your whole body the antioxidants it needs. These are the main ingredients used to make the solution that helps your body rid itself of the bad effects of Clostridium perfringens and rejuvenate itself, giving you the health boost you need for a balanced life. After he created the final product, Dr. Luke mailed me a bottle of it. He told me to take one pill once a day before my meals with a glass of water. Now I knew that it wouldn't take effect overnight, but I was still a bit discouraged. In the first few days, the only things I noticed was that I was not as bloated and gassy as I used to be, but nothing too impactful. I'd had times like that before. They didn't mean anything. By the end of the first week, however, things took a turn for the better, and after that, miracles started happening. I wasn't experiencing any stomach pain or pressure. The gas and the bloating sensations experienced an incredible change, and before you know it, I was finally able to poop properly for the first time in years. Like clockwork, every time I woke up at 8 a.m. sharp, I was on the toilet for no longer than 5 minutes. After that, the rest of the day started being a piece of cake. Really. I felt like a whole new person, energetic, rejuvenated, healthy again for the first time in God knows how many years. And just like the cherry on top of a cake, I was fitter and slimmer than before. By the end of the 3rd week, I had already dropped an amazing 30 pounds. It was a miracle. One by one, my other problems disappeared too. No more constipation, diarrhea, anal fissures, or hemorrhoidal crises. They were gone, like they were never there. Other things started coming naturally. My friends, my wife, and my family started feeling better around me. I could now smile and laugh without the stress of gas leaks or a growling stomach. Now I could even get intimate with my lovely wife without ever feeling the pain and the stress I used to feel before. And what was more important than anything, I could finally eat the things I wanted to, without any downsides. One morning, I had a big breakfast with a large omelet and several strips of bacon. To top it off, I indulged myself with a cup of pudding and a can of soda. Despite all of that, I didn't have any problems whatsoever. My entire gastrointestinal system worked like a charm. But I wasn't the only person testing this. Chef Wes himself said that it worked way better than what he previously used and was experiencing the same effect as I did. Now, seeing that this potent formula worked wonders on us, we decided to try it on other people too. We started posting online ads and contacting friends and family, hoping that they discreetly try this 100% natural capsule too. We managed to gather 106 volunteers, and we asked them to complete a daily report in order for us to be able to track their progress. From personal experience, I knew that we had to wait for at least 7 to 14 days before the initial reports would come in. But little did I know that this formula worked in ways that we couldn't even imagine. After a mere 3 days, our phones were constantly buzzing, and people at the other side of the phone line were telling us that their digestion was now saved. They had no problems pooping, no more bloating, no more gas leaks, nothing. Even the people suffering from GERD or IBS told us that they felt lighter, better, and the pains and the inflammations weren't there anymore. The results were absolutely astonishing. Everybody said that they no longer had trouble with diarrhea or constipation, and they could eat whatever they wanted without worrying about their bathroom breaks the next day. Plus, a number of the subjects reported that their sleep was no longer a troubled one. They felt rested and more energetic whenever they woke up in the morning. It was a miracle. At the end of the test period, seeing how many positive reviews we had, we realized that this wasn't something that we could keep for ourselves, especially considering that the demand was still incredibly high among our initial brave volunteers. Our inbox was filled with messages from people asking us to send them this miracle product. The only problem was that we didn't know how we were going to produce that many pills, but we knew we couldn't ignore their problems either. We decided we had to make this available for as many people as we could out there, since it was nothing short of a natural wonder. Effective, efficient, and easy to ingest, but still strong enough to fight the CP residing in the guts. Now, besides eliminating any trace of CP from your system whatsoever, this pill also helps people lose weight, body fat, feel lighter, and rejuvenate their whole organism. Nobody would have to worry about any of these problems anymore. For as long as you keep taking the mix, your body will be completely shielded from the toxic substances, fats, and the CP entering your body, while healing any other side effect of such disease-causing factors. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have to take this capsule forever. It's quite the opposite, actually. Just 3 or more bottles of this 100% natural formula, depending on how weak your body's systems are right now, can empower your body's defense mechanism and give it the supplement boost it needs to repair your digestion. In order to help more and more people achieve that, we still had to find a way to produce it in higher quantities. Had we produced it ourselves, we would have spent weeks trying to find the purest ingredients to add to this mix, and thousands of dollars doing it. Then, we had to properly extract the specific substances and add them in the right quantities, a process that would have lasted months. And by the end of it, we still wouldn't have had enough capsules to last for all these people that needed them. We had to up our game. Luke was the one who suggested that we buy the ingredients in bulk, while also contacting a discreet yet very large manufacturing facility with a great reputation here in the US. All of us tried to use our existing networks to help us find this facility. But what made that difficult was that we had one essential, non-negotiable request. The ingredients would have to be 100% natural, pure, sourced only from local farms and providers. Doing it like that, we knew that their properties would remain intact, and the good elements in them would be at their peak power. Of course, the facility was going to have to be a place where they could be processed under strict regulations and standards, with all the equipment disinfected properly and regularly, not letting any microbes in. And we managed to find just the right place that fit all that criteria. An FDA-registered, GMP-certified facility with a very high-level disinfection policy. Since the mixture of the ingredients was 100% natural, we didn't need to wait for approval to go forth with the first batch. We decided to call this amazing solution Digestyl, the only 100% natural product that fights the root cause of your digestive problems, the toxic bacteria in your everyday food. We obtain only the highest quality ingredients to use in our mixture, ingredients that are sure to repair your digestive system and rejuvenate your entire body as a whole. Every single bottle of this magic pill is manufactured right here in the USA, in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility. Every day, like clockwork, we disinfect the equipment in the facility, as well as the packages and everything that can be at risk of infection, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Digestyl does not contain anything that can harm your body, and it is not at all habit-forming. Not only does Digestyl target the root cause of your digestive problems and get rid of it, but it also helps your entire organism as a whole. You will feel lighter, rejuvenated, and ready to live your life to the fullest, without any pain, pressure, or fear that your stomach will ruin everything. Digestyl can hit the restart button for your digestive system, making you feel 20 years younger, and keeps you fit and energized without spending any more time, energy, and money on useless treatments and interventions. Over 221,000 people and counting have already experienced the amazing effects of Digestyl. Here are some of their success stories. Danielle Watson, 50, from New Jersey, told us this: "I couldn't believe my eyes at first. I thought Digestyl was just another run-of-the-mill supplement that does absolutely nothing to your system. But boy, was I wrong. After just 1 week of taking this wonderful pill, I started feeling like a whole new person. I no longer had trouble going to the bathroom. I started spending less and less time there, until I was done in less than 5 minutes. Not only that, but things such as diarrhea or constipation are nothing short of a past nightmare for me. On top of that, I think I've lost more than 20 pounds since I started taking these pills daily." Or Jack Garner, 49, from Massachusetts, who said, "Getting Digestyl was seriously the best decision in my entire life. I can't even begin to describe how bad I was feeling before trying it. But ever since then, I feel like a whole new person. No more getting mocked for my digestive condition. No more spending hours in the bathroom. No more hemorrhoidal crises. Nothing. I can now live life the way it's supposed to be lived. Digestyl saved me. Plus, now I can finally start getting intimate with my wife again. So it's not only me who's happy, but my family too." And Cindy Belford, 60, from New Orleans, wrote to us saying, "I had tried everything. Diets, treatments, interventions, and nothing but absolutely nothing seemed to work for me. I was devastated. Until one day, I discovered this site and decided to try this, since it couldn't do more damage to my gut. Turns out that it was actually the only thing that could save it. I am no longer bloated or gassy. I don't feel the pain and pressure in my abdomen, and every aspect of my life as a whole is changed. I can finally say that I am young again, and it's all thanks to Digestyl. Everything you have to do in order to experience these results is to start using this dirt cheap, easy-to-use supplement as soon as possible. The solution to all of your problems is within reach, and you can access it in the next minute. Knowing all this, you can already tell why Digestyl is the king of the jungle compared to the other so-called solutions on the market. No other product is proven to work in the long run. However, Digestyl is 100% natural and effective and fights the evil bacteria in your gut efficiently and without you even knowing. You can always try every diet in the world or take every pill that the doctors prescribe you. But if you think about it, none of these are guaranteed to work for you, since everyone's body functions differently. Too much fiber or too many probiotics can cause severe damage to your gut flora and your digestion, only aggravating your problems with gas, diarrhea, constipation, or bloating. And if you're considering trying better or more probiotics, think twice. I already told you, most of the bacteria are either dead or not good enough for an unhealthy gut. The packaging, manipulation, and the wrong strain selection are all factors that lead to this conclusion. Probiotics are not going to solve your problems. Even if you are lucky enough to get your hands on the real deal, it's very likely that your gut flora is so damaged that the bacteria will be useless by the time it gets there. If your doctor doesn't tell you that not too many people actually benefit from these treatments, then you should consider going to another doctor, because they're hiding the truth from you. Bottom line is this: every other solution is completely powerless. Why? Because it doesn't address the root cause. Digestyl is different. It will not only work for your digestion, but for your entire organism too, while helping you lose weight and be fitter, healthier, and happier. Before saying yes to this magic formula that will change your life for the better, you might ask yourself, how much is it worth to be able to control how I feel? Take a second and name a sum in your mind. Was it $100,000? $50,000? $10,000? Now, despite the fact that Dr. Luke insisted that we sell a 30-day supply of Digestyl for $977, taking into account the years we put into the research of this, the testing, and the overall effort invested into this perfect, almost magical pill, even though my wife told me to sell it for $597 after she saw how changed I am. And while our suppliers recommend the price of $387 because of the high quality, pristine ingredients, and even the 221,000 people who tried Digestyl said they were ready to pay double its price for the amazing effects they experienced. This isn't about the money at all. I'll never forget the pain I went through, the embarrassment, and the dreadful hours I spent on the toilet. Hours I'll never get back. I never want anyone to go through the same pain I did. I couldn't save my life earlier, but I can surely give you the tools to save yours. This is exactly why I won't ask for $977, $597, $387, or not even half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep the site up and running. Even though there may come a time when I'll start charging $99 per bottle, and while one bottle is surely less expensive than a painful trip to the doctor, while this site is still online, which may not be for long, considering the threat this magic pill poses to Big Pharma, you can get a 30-day supply of Digestyl for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of only $69. And that's not all. Should you order the 3- or 6-month package, we can give you an even bigger discount. The reason behind this? All three of us have seen the effects of Digestyl in plenty of patients and ran more tests than one can count. That's why we recommend you take this for 90 days to be 100% sure that your gut is completely healed and rid of any microbes or dangerous bacteria. But before we go on, we want to make this clear. There's no way of knowing how damaged your gut flora is right now. There's always a chance that the gut isn't in grave danger. But you can't risk a rupture, no matter how slight the possibilities are. This depends on a lot of factors, such as how strong your immune system is, your genes, your lifestyle choices, your diet, and even where you live. Consequently, as a rule of thumb, and after seeing the miraculous effects of Digestyl had on more than 500,000 people, we recommend you take 3 bottles at the very least, especially knowing that it could take more than 70 days to make sure that your digestion is fully repaired and working normally. On top of that, only 3 bottles of this product are sure to rejuvenate and strengthen your entire system against unwanted bacteria, germs, or microbes. Or, if your secondary goal is to lose unwanted body fats and get into shape, 6 bottles of Digestyl are all you need to enjoy all the positive side effects this magic pill has to offer. Now, with every bottle of Digestyl, you'll experience more and more positive effects. Energy boosts, total body rejuvenation, weight loss, and even lowered blood pressure in some cases. Your body will become stronger, better, and will work faster, because Digestyl will finally rid it of all unwanted substances, while helping it absorb the nutrients in your food better. All you're going to need is just a bit of patience. After all, no results are going to come overnight. This is the exact reason why we recommend you get more bottles today. Your health is your most prized possession, and we want to help you take care of it. There's one more thing you should know. If you skip 1 day of Digestyl, it can be game over. Whatever progress you've made can be in danger. Every day, after taking just 1 pill of this in the morning or before you eat, you'll feel like new again. Your body is going to thank you throughout the day, and even you're going to be forever thankful to yourself for getting this amazing natural formula. However, if you press pause for just 1 day, you may need weeks or even entire months to rev the engines of the potent ingredients up again. But you don't have that much time to spare, since CP and all of the other dangerous bacteria are destroying your body daily, even as we speak. All in all, don't risk running out of Digestyl. As of this moment, it's selling at tremendous speeds, and once it's sold out, it's going to take us 9 months to produce a new batch, since we're going to be back to looking for the purest, freshest ingredients. We're still going to help you no matter what, as long as we can, and we're going to offer you a very big discount for the 3 or 6 bottle package. You won't be seeing Digestyl anywhere else, so get your hands on it now at the lowest price possible. To top it all off, you're going to get free shipping too. How's that for a change? Take a look below this video. Once you place your order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout site where you'll have to fill in your payment information using debit, credit card, or even PayPal and confirm your order. From there on, your bottles are going to be safely and discreetly delivered at your doorstep. Should you order the 3 or the 6 bottle package, which we highly recommend you do, since our stocks are going to be depleted sometime soon, you'll be taking advantage of a huge discount too. Click below to select your package. This is a one-time payment with no subscription fees or any hidden charges. All you have to worry about is that Digestyl can only be found on this page and nowhere else. This might even be your only chance of grabbing this formidable mixture. I'm telling you, it's selling at incredible speeds, and once we run out of it, it's going to take us months or even an entire year to restock the ingredients. And just remember, a day in which you miss Digestyl can compromise weeks of progress. So if I were to give you a solid piece of advice, don't risk it. Never run out of Digestyl. By the year 2026, the digestive products market is sure to reach over $60 billion. That's more than one can spend in 10 lifetimes. No wonder big pharmaceutical conglomerates have been constantly trying to take down any other sites or people trying to offer the world a healthy, natural solution to their problems. They'll never stop selling you their useless and expensive medicine, and they want to milk the cash cow forever. As much as I'd want to keep this up for longer, I can't simply risk my family's safety, and I'm sure you can understand that. So please, get Digestyl today while you still can. And just so you know, it's completely normal to be skeptical. After all, you've tried everything, and nothing seemed to work for you. I know that this will work, so I'm going to offer you a 60-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. If you don't experience any noticeable improvement, or you're simply not content for any reason whatsoever, we'll make sure to give you your money back, no questions asked. All you have to do is message us within the first 60 days of your purchase. Even if you used up the entire bottle, you can still ask for your money back. Like that, you'll still have 60 days to try this product and see if it does any good to you. A one-time, completely safe and secure purchase to see if this works for you. Just pick the package you want below. Putting things into perspective, you have two choices. The first one would be to stop watching this video and leave this page. You do nothing, and you keep going the way you are right now. Stressed and anxious every time you start eating something, living in fear of what the next bathroom break will do to you. Constantly feeling bloated, sensing the acute pain and pressure burdening your stomach, and leaking gas everywhere you go. Feeling everyone's eyes fixated on you every time you walk out of a public bathroom, and seeing how they talk about the smell you leave behind, not knowing if that will ever end in months, years, or even decades. It's going to be a living hell. The second one? Risk absolutely nothing. Get your hands on Digestyl right now and be healed and protected for the rest of your life. Make your choice and click below. Enter your payment details on our 100% secure checkout form and place your order now. The packages will be immediately shipped to your home with no shipping costs. We can't wait for you to become one of the success stories of Digestyl. Still here? Amazing! I can now take some time and answer some of the questions I get about this product. After all, I need you to be 100% comfortable with your decision of ordering today. How and why exactly does Digestyl work? Digestyl has a simple yet very efficient mechanism behind it. As research suggests, if your digestive system is malfunctioning, a species of bacteria may reside inside your system, the Clostridium perfringens. This causes you to experience symptoms such as gas, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, and in some cases, anal fissures, or even hemorrhoids. Digestyl gathers nutrients from a series of incredibly effective, pure, and high-quality natural ingredients in order to supplement your body with the nutritious boost it needs in order to fight this bacteria, causing you to have a normal bathroom time again. Is Digestyl completely safe to use? Yes, Digestyl is safe to use because it was created for all ages and medical conditions. It addresses the root cause of all your digestive problems, the dangerous substances and bacteria that mess up your gut flora. Digestyl is made of all the highest quality and purest ingredients and is manufactured according to precise and rigorous standards in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility. It was especially tailored to strengthen your immune system against any digestive problems. However, as always, if you do have a medical condition or if you're taking other prescription medication, it would be safe to show a bottle of this product to your doctor just to put your mind at ease. When should I take Digestyl? We highly recommend taking just one pill of this amazing product a day with a big glass of water, either in the morning or before eating, for a quick, effective gut cleansing that will give you energy and make you feel rejuvenated the entire day. What if I don't experience the same results? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? We have already seen more than 500,000 people experience amazing results. and the number grows by the day. While it may be true that nothing can be a one-size-fits-all solution, because everyone's body is different, we want to have this situation covered. That is exactly why every bottle and package of Digestyl comes with a 60-day, no-questions-asked money-back guarantee. If for any reason you are dissatisfied with the results, just return what you haven't used for a full refund within the first 60 days of placing your order. How long is Digestyl going to be available for? Look, this is one question I can't answer for sure. History showed us time and time again that Big Pharma isn't going to let anything slide as long as it keeps threatening their very existence and their margins. They would be willing to spend millions of dollars in legal fees just to stop anyone who would dare get in their tracks. And it makes sense. Wouldn't you spend that much money in order to preserve an industry that's worth $60 billion? So my advice to you is, be quick. Click below. Fill in your payment details on our secure form and submit your order. I can't wait for you to become one of Digestyl's success stories.